Champagne lights on midnight waves. You laugh like it's a dare, but every luxury has corners where the truth can't breathe in air. Private deck, polished rails, my heels on borrowed shine. You say my name like velvet, like it's already aligned. Yet doors stay closed and cavern locks click soft as lies. The crew smiles too quickly, and you won't meet my eyes. You hold me on the aft deck when the wind begins to moan, and step away to whisper words you swear are only home. The ocean keeps no secrets, it just carries what you throw. So why do I feel haunted by the rooms I cannot know? Tell me what you're hiding in the soul blue dark. Why your tenderness feels time like it stops before it starts. I'm falling for you dangerously, between suspicion and desire. But love that needs a locked door is love that feeds a fire. If you want my heart, don't rent it by the hour. Meet me in the open, no more shadows in the tower. I find a note half burned in a glass beside the sink, a name I've never heard, a line that makes my stomach sink. You catch me reading the silence and you smile like I'm a child. Say trust is what you give me while your hands stay sweet and wild. I'm torn, your mouth says stay, your life says don't ask why, and every wave keeps counting down the moment I decide. On the top deck, dawn breaks like confession in slow bloom. I tell you I won't be your beautiful alibi in a room. You pause, then something cracks behind your perfect calm. You whisper truth in pieces, shaking in my palms. I don't need every answer, but I need the same sky. No more love that leaves me last to know why the sea turns quiet silver and the locks don't sound as loud. If we're real, we'll face the daylight, not just the nighttime crowd. I lean into the wind and let it rinse my doubt away. Either you love me honestly, or I sail back to my own name. I grew up in hallways that changed their names. New doors, new smiles, the same old ache. doctor's daughter, neat and quiet, learning how to behave, while my mother rewrote futures, trying to feel brave. Then the remarriage, fresh paint, blended photographs, a stepsister like sunlight, and I lived in its aftermath. Every room became a question, where do I belong? I laughed at dinner, then cried to the radio all night long. And you, steady as a porch light, never made a scene. You saw me through the cracks of all my jealousies. I'm falling in love the slow way, the way you don't notice at first. Like rain in the ground, like a letter you keep but never send because it hurts. I tried to hate a sparkle, tried to make you look away, but you love me like a constant, not a game you had to play. Now I'm learning what devotion is. It doesn't need to prove. It waits, it listens, it stays true, until I'm brave enough to choose. Misunderstandings in the sun, half-heard words in the yard. I thought your kindness meant pity, so I built my little guard. She laughed and I compared, I shrank and called it fine, but you spoke to me like equal, like my heart was worth the time. No grand parade, no fireworks, just your coat around my shoulders when the world felt too crowded and every mirror made me colder. If growing up is telling truth before it turns to stone, then here it is. I'm tired of feeling second in my home. I don't wanna be a rumor in a family photograph. I wanna be the one you reach for when the good and bad days pass. So if you've ever loved me quietly like I have, say it plain and I'll step forward and I'll finally let it last. We stand in the doorway, older than the girl I used to be, and your hand doesn't rush me, it just waits patiently. I take it like a promise, like a name I learned to trust, and all my growing pains dissolve into something gentle, something just, something just. Something just. The gilded cage, the velvet rope, a quiet loss of every hope. I played by rules I didn't write, and lost you to the freezing night. We danced within the crowded halls, a million eyes upon the walls. You offered me a different life, away from all this quiet strife. But I was bound by family ties, a prisoner of the social lies. The grand betrayal was my own. I left you standing there alone. I traded passion for the gold. smile upon my face. I live the life they said I should. A hollow statue made of wood, but now the years are fading fast. I'm breaking from the heavy past. I'm falling down into the truth, reclaiming all my stolen youth. Oh, the tragedy of an innocent age trapped forever on a wealthy stage I pushed away. The only love I knew to do exactly what they told me to. But out here in the quiet evening chill, I'm letting go of my exhausted will. I'm falling for the memory of your face, finding comfort in an empty space. The gilded cage is finally breaking down. I'm walking far away from this lonely town. I raised the children, played the part with the deeply broken, aching heart. I sat beside the window pane and watched the heavy falling rain. You sent a letter from afar, a glowing bright and distant star. But I was terrified to fall, and so I built another wall. The grand betrayal of my soul has finally taken its full toll. But underneath the faded dress, I'm craving one last sweet caress. The golden carriage drives away. I'm stepping to the light of day. I couldn't be the one you need. I let my terrified spirit bleed. But in the shadows of the night, I know my feelings were so right. Oh, the tragedy of an innocent age trapped forever on a wealthy stage I pushed away. The only love I knew to do exactly what they told me to. But out here in the quiet evening chill, I'm letting go of my exhausted will. I'm falling for the memory of your face, finding comfort in an empty space. The gilded cage is finally breaking down. I'm walking far away from this lonely town. The golden cage, an empty stage. I'm finally free. Golden cage. An empty stage. I'm finally free. A quiet house, a steady ticking clock, a desperate spirit trapped inside the lock. I wanted fireworks and brilliant skies, but only found these suffocating lies. of a grand romance, a sweet and beautiful and daring dance. I married you to find that soaring thrill, but every day was incredibly still. You offered me a simple, steady hand, but I was craving an exotic land. The grand betrayal was my wandering eye. I started building up a massive lie. I sought the passion in another's bed and ignored the warning voices in my head. I spent the gold to buy a fake escape and wrapped my sorrow in a velvet cape. The deck came crashing like a tidal wave, a terrifying, dark and lonely grave. The lovers that I chose all turned away when the heavy price was finally due to pay. I'm falling from the dizzy, brilliant height into the crushing, unforgiving night. Oh, the tragedy of a poison dream, floating down a desperate, shallow stream. I chased an illusion that was never real, because I was desperately trying to feel. The grand betrayal tore our home apart, a brutal dagger in your trusting heart. Now I'm falling for the final bitter piece, a dark and terrifying sudden release. I swallowed down the sorrow and the bitter dust, a tragic victim of my own disgust. You stood beside me as the fever grew, a loyal man that I completely threw. I traded all your quiet, genuine care for an empty promise floating in the air. The silken dresses and the carriage rides were nothing but a desperate place to hide. I see the devastation in your crying eyes as I collapse beneath my endless lies. The poison burns away the fantasy and leaves the terrifying truth for me. The romantic illusions crumble to the floor. I'm locking up the heavy iron door. The beautiful novels led me far astray and stole the beauty of the everyday. I'm free. city burns with a terrible, violent rage. We're trapped inside a deeply terrifying cage. I held my family tightly in the freezing cold. A devastating story that is fiercely told. We were condemned by a completely broken law, the cruelest judgment that the people ever saw. My husband sentenced to the terrifying blade, while I was weeping in the terrifying shade. But you appeared inside the dark and gloomy cell, a quiet angel walking through a living hell. You loved me from a distance, never asked for more, and now you're standing at the heavy iron door. The grand betrayal was the switch you quietly made. You drugged him, took his place within the bitter shade. You sent us far away upon the midnight sea, and stayed behind to die for him, to die for me. The carriage rolls away into the distant night. I read the letter that you somehow found to write. You said it is a far, far better thing you do than anything that you have ever known or knew. I'm falling down into a devastating grief, a heartbreaking, beautiful, and dark relief. Oh, the tragedy of a love that goes unsaid. You walked in silence to the city of the dead. You gave your life to save the men I deeply loved, and sent your spirit to the quiet skies above. The grand betrayal of your own exhausted heart. You tore your solitary, lonely world apart. Now I'm falling for the memory of your face, a quiet hero in a terrifying place. I'll tell the children of the sacrifice you made before you faded in the cold and bitter shade. The crowds were cheering as the heavy weapon fell. You never flinched, you never let the terror swell. You held the hand of a frightened, lonely girl as you departed from this terrifying world. The blood is washing out into the city streets, a revolution pulsing in the heavy beats. But I am safely resting on a foreign shore, because you opened the terrifying door. A far, far better rest you finally go to now, a heavy burden lifted from your weary brow. I see your shadow in the setting of the sun. The terrifying, brutal battle has been won. You love me silently, you the sacrifice you made before you faded in the golden bitter shade. A far better rest, a far better thing I will remember. Voice inside the darkness calling out my name. A beautiful and terrifying, dangerous game. You taught me how to sing the stars awake and pulled me down into the underground lake. I was a fragile chorus girl without a face, until you brought me to this hidden magic place. You poured your brilliant genius in my empty soul and took completely terrifying dark control. Music of the night inside my head, but then I saw the face behind the porcelain mask, a tragedy of sorrow in a gruesome task. The grand betrayal happened when I saw the boy, my childhood friend who brought me innocent joy. I realized your love was just an iron cage, a terrifying prison on a hidden stage. You dragged me to the bottom of the cavern floor and locked the heavy, terrifying iron door. You made me choose between my freedom and his life, a terrifying bargain cutting like a knife. I'm falling down into the shadows of your mind, broken, floating in the freezing air. I'm walking far away into the morning sun. The terrifying, beautiful opera is done. Oh, the tragedy of a dark, obsessed desire, burning everything inside, a desperate fire. I gave you my compassion, gave you a single kiss to pull you back from the terrifying dark abyss. The grand betrayal tore your weary heart in two when I walked away and finally turned my back on you. But in that final moment, you released the chain and let me walk into the beautiful cleansing rain. I'm falling for the childhood love I always knew, leaving the broken genius fading in the blue. The music fades, the shadow sleeps, I'm stepping out. The music fades, the shadow sleeps, I'm stepping out. Eight heavy years have washed into the sea since I allowed them all to conquer me. I broke the only promise that I ever made and watched you vanish in the freezing shade. I was a foolish girl of 19 years, controlled by family and ridiculous fears. They said you lacked the fortune and the proper name. They said our union was a total shame. The grand betrayal was my weak compliance. I traded genuine passion for a cold alliance. I told you that we could never tie the knot and broke the beautiful future that we sought. You looked at me with devastating, cold disgust, terrible shattering of innocent trust. You went away to fight upon raging ocean while I was drowning in my own exhausted motion. Now you return a decorated, wealthy man, a stranger walking in a very quiet land. You look right through me with a freezing stare, as if I wasn't even standing there. I'm falling down into the heavy, bitter past, realizing the sorrow is designed to last. Oh, the tragedy of a deeply persuaded mind, leaving the greatest treasure completely behind. I broke your heart, please, a hollow, empty crowd. And now my terrifying regret is crying out aloud. go of the terrifying heavy rope. You have loved none but me this entire time. A beautiful recovery from a tragic crime. I'm running out into the crowded, dizzy street to find salvation and to make the story